Jeez, welcome back to Tyson's Alchemy, and today I've got a nice funny story for you. And obviously I teach self-hypnosis on this channel, but it's also called Tyson's Alchemy. It's about my journey, the ups, the downs, and today I thought I'd share a funny story about why I never ended up being a crazy drinker. Obviously there's a big drinking culture in England and lots of other places. I like to go out and party and meet all the women when I was younger, right? But I was never a huge drinker, and here's why. So my very first experience drinking, I was a young teenager, and I got told there was a party just down the road happening. I think I was maybe 12, 13, something along those lines. And there was a girl that lived halfway down the road, and she was a few years older with her friends, and they said, "Oh, we're having a party, you should come down." So they're at like the proper drinking age in UK, which is around maybe 15, 16, people, teenagers are starting to drink alcohol and, trying to socialize and all that stuff that you do when you're a young teenager, right? I wasn't quite there yet, 12, 13. I was still probably playing Pokemon and games, right? But me and my friends find out there's a party down the road. They've invited us to go along. We go along, and it's like a garden party. And we're just excited, we're in this world. There's girls. There's this thing called alcohol. Ooh, what does alcohol do? Now, unknown to me, I've got no idea. I'm just drinking shots of vodka. 12 years old, drinking shots of vodka. They don't really know what they're doing either, because obviously they're just young girls trying to have a party. But we end up obviously drinking quite a bit, and my memory fades me. But I do remember one of the girls trying to take me into the shed and snog me or some shit. So I was completely loving life. I was like, I am a player. I am a G. Obviously, I'm a little bit lightheaded and woozy. I'm living the dream. I'm getting girls pulling me into the shed for some tongue action. And then it all goes wrong. I remember being sat on a chair in the garden, not being able to move, wondering what the fuck's going on, thinking, what is my life? Why is my head spinning around and round? Why do I feel like I'm paralyzed? I drank so much vodka that I could not move. I was stuck on this chair, and as the story goes from what people tell me, I sat in my chair going, someone call my mum. And the reason I was saying that is because if someone called my dad, he would knock me the fuck out. So I knew I was in trouble. I knew I was an endangered species at this moment in time, and I was sitting there thinking, fuck, my dad finds out I've been drinking and I'm fucked. I will get my ass kicked. Someone call my mum, please. So I remember just spinning, the world's spinning around. I don't know what's going on. It's my first time drinking alcohol. And all of a sudden, the honeys in the corner that I was snogging in the shed, they looked like fucking big elephants or something. I was like, I don't want to kiss them again. Get away from me. Because obviously I feel sick and I feel rotten. Next minute I know, someone's went and knocked on my dad's door, and my dad's had to come and get me from the garden. He drags me from this garden, takes me up into the house, throws me into at this point I think I'm being sick. I'm just a big young mess, right? I don't know what's going on. He throws me into the bathtub, and according to him and his story, who knows if he's telling the truth, I'm just sat in the bathtub, spewing up all this alcohol, just laying in my own sick, and he's just leaving us. He's like, you're a fucking idiot. Lie in the bath and pay the price. I don't even wake up until the next day. So I don't remember lying in the bath and spewing. I don't remember anything else. I don't remember getting my ass beat. I just remember waking up the next day in a pile of spew in my own bath. And then my dad, as soon as I was awake, dragging me up, getting me out. Come on, we're going on a walk. So I'm like, the worst hangover you could ever imagine. I've had the odd hangover, obviously, when I drank a little bit, but when I was older. But this was the hangover of all hangovers. And this is kind of what set me up for life. Because at this point, I wasn't fully chasing the football dream yet. I wasn't obviously a business entrepreneur fully. I had a paper round and a couple of side hustles at 12, 13, but I wasn't like the big G. So this was the perfect thing that could happen, because everyone else that grew up wanting to get absolutely written off and smashed off the face and get so drunk they wouldn't know where they were, I had this in the back of my mind. I remembered how awful it felt. I was ill after that bath spew scene. I was ill for about 2 weeks. My body took about 2 weeks to recover from that. My liver must have fucking nearly packed in. Little 12-year-old liver trying to dissect all the alcohol. And I just felt rotten. It was horrible. I can still remember going on that walk with my dad the next day, and he's giving me the big speech about how, not to be an idiot and not to go drinking with women down the road or whatever, right? And I was like, oh, the whole time on the walk, I was like, oh, it just felt awful. I remember it was 2 weeks long, that hangover. So, going forward, the big G, growing up, developing some muscles, going out drinking, trying to be that guy. I never drank too much, and this served me very well. So obviously, in this little funny story, I suppose, if you're a young G watching this, there is a lesson. You don't need to get hammered to have a great time. You can just get tips. If drinking is your thing, you can just get tipsy or just a little bit, on the edge. Lots of people just keep drinking. They think the party's never going to end. And actually, there's a tipping point, right? If I just had 1 shot, 2 shot of vodka, maybe as a 12-year-old, and then just snogged all the bitches in the shed, it might have been, the birthing of Tyson, the young G then, right? Unfortunately for me, there was a lot of alchemy to go through and a lot of learning. I learned the hard way not to go overboard, but it really served me well. I learned to socialize properly. When I was going out, I would learn the art of famousing and the art of dealing with women and being funny and flirty and interacting rather than just like drunk and talking proper shit. That's why I had so much success with dating women and going out and pulling and stuff like that. I'll say success, it doesn't mean anything, but you know what I'm saying. You're a young G, you probably want to go out and date women, right? I could dance without looking like an idiot, if that was the occasion, if there was dancing involved in a night out, right? I wouldn't just be like stumbling all over the place. It served me well. A funny story. I woke up in a bath spewing. I shouldn't have been drinking that young, clearly, but it still serves me well now. I mean, I don't really drink anymore at all because I'm kind of past that scene now. But obviously, when I was younger, when I was playing football and then going out after the games and stuff with the guys, everyone else would get stupidly drunk and then couldn't move for the next 2 days. I would drink just enough, and then I'd drink little bits of water, and then drink a little bit of water. I was on it. It was like I was like a mad scientist when I went out. Everyone was just kind of going with the flow, seeing where life took them on the night, and just I was really careful with having a good time, not giving it away that I was this guy that was trying not to repeat the bath scene, but I was also clever enough to understand that you need to be hydrated. If you want to avoid the hangover, you need to drink a lot of water in between all your other drinks and stuff like that. So anyway, you take that or leave it. But if you're going out, drink some water in between drinks. That was my top tip. That always prevented a hangover. And don't drink too much. Don't be an idiot. If anything, don't drink at all. Just go out and be yourself. You don't actually need drink. But I get it. It was a big drinking culture at the time. I don't know if it still is because I'm not young. But if you're young and you go out drinking, keep that in mind. Don't go overboard. Drink water in between your drinks. And obviously enjoy yourself and try not to look like a fucking idiot and wake up in a bath spewing. So, with that being said, there's your funny story. Tyson didn't always act like the big G and fucking perfect cheesy grin and muscles. I was the dork lying in a bath, wasted, just and Dad just getting thrown out the bath. So remember, take it easy. You don't need to drink like a fucking idiot. And self-hypnosis is the key.